Hello and welcome to the channel. In this series of videos we're looking at different ways to preserve peppers in different creations. Today we're going to do a simple fermentation technique, perhaps my favorite, that doesn't require an awful lot of extra special equipment or anything. Basically 2 mason jars, kitchen scale, a drilled cork, and an airlock that you can pick up at a winemaking supply store, a brewer's supply store. And yeah, here we go. So, what are we working with here today? Well, we have that cork I was talking about, a couple mason jars. Going to use some yellow mustard seed, a thumb of ginger, fresh ginger. There's the scale, some kosher or pickling salt, some distilled water. I've got some beautiful fresh jalapenos that I picked up at the store, and some from the garden. Whenever you're doing canning or fermenting, you want very fresh, firm, unblemished fruit. So the first thing we do is cut a couple carrot straps. A fair-sized carrot, and what you're looking to do is cut a 2/4 inch straps, and this is what we'll use to hold down the veg in the jar. This eliminates the need for a glass puck or spring-loaded lid or any other specialty equipment. So, not to let this carrot go to waste, grab our jar, in with a couple pieces of carrot, and with a spoon you can scrape off the skin off the ginger. Now the ginger is optional. I'm going to use mustard seed, ginger, and garlic with this one because it works really well with the flavors in the fermentation. Chunk up the ginger a little bit. There's good surface area. In with some ginger. Cut the stump ends off the garlic, in with 3 cloves of garlic. And here come our peppers. I've set aside a few of those beautiful jalapenos that had especially nice, clean looking calyxes. So that's the crown on the top by the stem, the remnants of the flower. With these ones, we'll just cut the stump ends off. And cut them in half. And into the jar they go, the half ends. Now the tip ends we're going to want to put in some air holes. Make sure the air can get out. Now you can use a variety of peppers when doing this. This one here is going to be a nice green fermentation, fairly mild. Something that you can use on eggs, pizza, noodles, and pretty much anywhere. You can pry a hole in the end, or like this, just cut a slice and pop open the old hole in the end. In the jar they go, and you press them down really firmly. You're going to want to slowly pack this jar in. So here are those peppers I was talking about. Absolutely beautiful, clean calyxes on them. So we cut the stem off right where it meets the calyx. discard the stems. So the reason we're doing this is this seeds the natural fermentation. The good bacteria available in the environment will be carried in, and the saline solution that we're going to use will allow them to flourish, whereas the baddies, they won't have a chance. We cut the straps to fit, so you want it to be able to go over the top of the veg and down the side of the jar. So get the appropriate length here. So this is pretty straightforward. Stuff it down the one side of the jar, pop it in, slide it down the other side of the jar, and in a crisscross method like this. So you got both straps in, they're trapping in the veg, and you can see it's below the rings. Make sure it's all nice down and thoroughly packed. Okay, so next, with some distilled water, fill the jar up. I'll do the initial fill. And you burp out all the air. Burping out the air, be patient, just get it all out there. Roll the jar around a little bit and you can see the air bubbles coming out. This reduces your water level a little bit, so you top it up, burp it again, make sure you get all the air out. So roll around, and this is the level we're looking for, right at the bottom of the rings. As you can see, got all the veg covered. Good, so far so good. Now you want to get your scale going. Place the empty jar on top. Zero out your scale. Zero out your scale. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're weighing the weight of the veg in the water. In this case, it came out to 915 grams. We're going to multiply that by 0.04 to give us 4% saline. Now, when you're doing chunky bits of vegetable, the peppers, you can go 3 to 5% on the salt. I like to hit it right in the middle with 4%. You can also do this in a mash method, which requires a lot more salt, a higher salt concentration. That's why I like this method, where you're using a little less salt. Again, we'll zero out the scale. Salt needed in this case comes out to just over 36.5 grams. So I guess measuring the salt here is the only really precise part of this recipe. We're going to make sure that it's actually very close to what we need. And there we go. So the next part's really easy. We have our salt. Grab our jar. Pour off into the other jar. Add in the salt. and mix it thoroughly to get our brine. Another interesting thing about this process is that over the fermentation, the pH will drop, which also improves the canning safety and the shelf stability of the fermentation. Oh, forgot something. My yellow mustard seed for seasonings. Now we're going for 4%, so this isn't going to affect the weight much, and will still be plenty safe. We'll just add that in there. Pour in the rest of the saline. And again, burp it out. So put our stopper on and our airlock nice and tight and sealed. And we're going to set this down for a minimum of 2 weeks, but usually I go anywhere 4 to 6 weeks. And if you like this video, hit the like button. Want to keep up, subscribe, and we will have an upcoming video where we process the resulting fermentation. There we go. Thank you for watching. See you again soon.